Alright. But we're not done yet. Apparently the Path of Pain was added in this. How the fuck do I get there? Point me in the direction. I know I'm going to the hidden station. White Palace, okay. Okay. Someday Twitch will send notifications when I tell it to? Yeah, I know. All right. Shortly after the first elevator. So I'm resting here. I know it's in a weird, stupid spot. I go up this. It's like behind here, isn't it? Higher. Here? Yeah. How silly. What a silly spot. Alright, I've seen this before. To witness secrets revealed, one must endure the harshest punishment. Alright. Don't mind if I do. Is that gonna move? That one is. Okay. Oh my god. I'm not getting that lip. I understand why they hid it. My question is, who was the first to find it? Dude, if you break these, I'm gonna lose my mind. Do I need to get rid of this thing because he's gonna break the floating things, or are they not gonna break from his little spits? This is my new buddy. I don't mind him being part of the squad. I might have to get rid of him. People were data mining. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I never brought him along. We finally have a party member? Yeah, it does break him. Oh, that's bad. I can't have him. I can't have the party member. Alright, see you, party member. It's been real. Gotta go. Right. He's like, pain? Pain? I can do pain. I don't know. Give me this. Who cares? Wait, is this like in exchange for me not being able to charge? Is that one of these? No, we're good. I can make you feel like you're playing Silksong. Okay, I guess this is the time to ask. Ask my community. Is the difficulty stuff overblown? Are people being dramatic? Is it just like kind of different? And it's just a lot of people? I would say they're not being too hyperbolic, but it's certainly not impossible. Interesting. Do you think it's tuned for like an end game Hollow Knight player that's coming back to the game? Or do you think it's largely in line with how this game feels difficulty-wise? Because, you know, a lot of people talk about this game being really hard, too. And it is in a lot of places, but it's also not in a lot of places. I could see that being the intention? Okay. Fuck. What the? Okay, that's fine. Difficulty level is mostly mid to late. I'm talking about Silksong. I already have it in my brain that this is overblown. Because it's a bunch of people that didn't play I Want to Be the Guy on their laptop in 2006. And this is built for people that played I Want to Be the Guy on their laptop in 2006. Me. Okay. Mid to late Hollow Knight with a mix of random bits of Coliseum 3, a little Path of Pain, little... I don't know Ascended God Home, so I don't know that. So watch your fucking mouth. I'm too low. Bonk. Too high. Just right. Ooh. Ooh. Oh wow, that one wasn't bad at all. A lot of the difficulty is stun locking and not providing significant upgrades and gotcha traps. So to me, it's felt kind of unfair a lot. Oh no. Okay. Here we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oops. Oops. Oh, this is fun. Okay. This is fun. This is fun. This is what I needed, everybody. Okay, a little too low, little too low. Little too high. Very hard to arrange that. I don't know if you can. Okay, here's the new plan. Here's the new plan. Here's the new plan. Ready? There we go. That's more like it. What's up, Taro? Fuck. Alright, I don't want to die. But I probably will. Which is okay. Fuck. Alright, last shot. Alright. Where the fuck am I going? Where am I going? What's the job? Got it. I can see how that would, you know, you'd get some wild people. He probably was just trying to fuck with the new guy, see what he could get away with. He's probably a regular. Your coworkers are probably going to be like, oh yeah, that's Garrett. He's a piece of shit. Don't worry about him. You know? There was this mother and daughter at the Costco in New York. Two older Jewish ladies. The daughter was probably late 50s, early 60s. The mother was probably easily in her 80s. And I forget their names. I know one of them was Yafa. And everybody at my work hated them because they always came in, they always caused problems, they always, you know, I'm gonna talk to corporate, you're gonna lose your job, buddy. For whatever reason, they loved me. And they always talked about, you know, wanting to adopt me, take me home. You know, I was just a young looking, cute kid that they liked a lot. And I was always sent in as like the defusal team for whenever they were on one, which was always very funny. I literally was the bomb squad because they would get so mad about little things. Like they were always like returning humidifiers and like, you know, just very like old people at Costco stuff. Like, I know the return policy. I've been coming here for 30 years. You're not going to tell me what I can and can't return. And it's like, yeah, but we're looking at your records and you've purchased and returned humidifiers consistently for the last 2.5 years. Yeah, they wanted to take me home like Rena, exactly. And I'm missing that jump. And so I would always be brought in and just kind of I literally was the defusal squad. So I understand. I love retail, dude. I don't know how much I'd like to work at a weed store. I'm just not much of a weed guy. I don't know if weed store is my type of retail environment. But old people? I'm good with old people, dude. All right. Fuck. Okay. Oh, I wasted it on an accidental double jump. Okay. Dude. It's like learning the mechanics in a new way because you don't realize there's a slight drop before the double jump hits. Like you still have downward momentum for a second. And so I'm learning how to navigate that because I'm falling. I press A to double jump. And I keep falling just that little bit more and it takes me out. Like that. You just gotta learn, like, when you press A, it's still taking into account a little bit of your downward velocity. So you have to give yourself more wiggle room than you think. Right. It's a subtle detail that usually does not matter at all. But when it's this tight, you need every half pixel of room around you in order to stay afloat. I don't know why I'm falling yet. It might even be... Fuck. It might even be pulling you down for a second before it lifts you up. Yeah, I think it does. I think the double jump moves you down slightly before, even if you're going completely completely upward momentum, you see how you drop a little bit before you keep going further up? That's interesting. You see what I'm talking about? There's like 2 frames of dropping before the wings take you back up. So you have to account for that. That's interesting. Again, something you would never notice because nowhere else in the game has areas that tight. Our McDonald's. You used to work at McDonald's? Is that what you're telling me? Or are you just saying like the local McDonald's? A long time ago. Cool. I want to work at McDonald's. I think a McDonald's job seems so fun. I understand. God damn it. Okay. Oh my god. Why would it give me the double jump if it's not actually doing anything? Like that. Why would I get the wall bounce into an immediate double jump? I know, you would think it's a recovery. But again, you're sliding down throughout all of it. And so the actual... Sometimes you can like slide yourself right off the edge without knowing. Fuck off. Can't do that. Okay. Dude. I don't know why that keeps getting me. I've lost like so much to that exact spot. There we go. Okay. All right. Which I'm fine with. It's like I was saying to Behemoth during the boss fight. It's like I just verbalizing what I'm thinking as a way to kind of diffuse it as bullshit is really all I need. And so if I just seem like I'm over-explaining or whatever, it's really just me trying to intellectualize the thing in my head so that I can move forward without like getting mad at it. So learning that the drop, there's a little bit of a drop on that second double jump is like, okay, now I can't get mad at that anymore, right? Because it's telegraphed, it's expressed. And so just coming along for the ride and embracing the very specific ways about it. Right, there is a consistency, and I think that's the biggest thing, especially when people talk about like bullshit difficulty or whatever. And I think that it's something that Souls games have done a really good job of okay, how do I do this? Ow, really? Really? Okay. You just gotta dash very fast after. Oh, fuck you. Ooh, and he's right there. All right. Ouch. I gotta stop doing that. That's so funky. That's so funky. Is it because I have long nail on? It's probably because I have long nail on, isn't it? It's probably because I have long nail on. It's like it feels wrong. And so if it feels wrong, it probably is. Let me take that off. Quick slash I'll keep. Oh wait, no, I don't want this because I can't heal. Okay. Do that. Who cares? Oh, you were trying to do it with Mark of Pride on? Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if it feels that wrong, it probably is, you know? And that's another, like, what I was saying about Souls games is I feel like the reverberating effects of, like, Get Good has actually done a really nice job of letting people think about game design as a very, like, rigid analytical thing and not like some magic calculations that are happening. I feel like you don't get as many complaints that a game is like bullshit, because it's like, it's just, the consistency is implied. It's just a matter of, like, solving it. And I feel like that's relatively recent. Like, post Souls really popping off is when people kind of just went like, okay, no, I just gotta buckle down and get good. I just gotta learn it. Like, when I was growing up, you would, like, you know, games were kind of like, that doesn't make sense. And you would just get mad at the game. And now I feel like the popularity of Souls games, and also just competitive multiplayer, I think, is probably a good part of it. People are a lot more receptive to go, well, I don't have it all figured out. There's got to be something about the game that I don't get yet. And how do I figure that out? Let me try and solve it like a puzzle instead of, like, going, this isn't working for me. Clearly something's broken. Like, I think about the kid that I gave him the copy of Kingdom Hearts, and he said that I gave him a hacked version of the game that's too hard. What's up, Moosk? All right. Too high. Too low. Stupid. I have to engage a little bit of flow state gaming. Painfully enjoying, that's what people are saying, man. That's what everybody's talking about, the pain of Silksong. I'm very surprised to see it. Ooh, okay. We got it. Dude, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. Stop it, please. Okay. It's just gonna keep happening. There we go. It's honestly not bad. I would argue Hollow Knight's a little bit more difficult. Fuck. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess here's my question to both of you. How many times have you played through Hollow Knight? Four times. Okay, I was gonna say maybe if it's like somebody played it only once versus somebody that's played it 4 times, 5 times through, the experience of like unlearning and relearning muscle memory and kind of expecting it to be one thing when it's something else entirely, because that's why I don't play sequels close to each other. You know, because of that feeling of I just get too directly comparative. I just go like, this isn't what I know and it's a sequel. I should have transferable skills here and I don't. And so I think one of the biggest examples of that on this channel is if you go back and you watch the Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake VODs, like the MSX2 VODs in the time capsule, I was pissed because I had just played through Metal Gear like 3 months before, and then we went into Metal Gear 2, and it's such a difference structurally that I was playing it just like, this is weird, man. Crouching, it doesn't feel good. I liked how the original did it. And I just was giving myself too much gruff about change or lack thereof, or some things changed and some things didn't. And that's when I instituted the rule that like I need at least 4 months at least between sequels. Oh, okay. All right. It's not a difficult adaptation, yeah. I thought I would have that issue with later Final Fantasies, but I haven't. That makes sense. I feel like a lot of people felt that, like Final Fantasy VII into Final Fantasy VIII, right? So many people jumped into the Final Fantasy train on 7, and then 8 came out, and if you're like a learned child of the franchise, you understand that every game is going to be structurally different. But Final Fantasy VIII comes out, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know? I went back to play some Hollow Knight today while I was definitely making mistakes that were Silksong reflexes. The controls felt as tight and responsive as ever. It might straight up just be input delay. Oh, give me a break. It might be as easy as, you know, the game came out, they got a bug fix. There might just be input delay sort of things that need to be the kinks need to be worked out. Maybe it has like weird compatibility with your specific controller, you know? It might not be, but it might be. Keeping ATV, but also doing more with magic and learning how to do that efficiently. Yeah. I haven't played much of 8, but that's just one of those things that you know, right? I'm getting a little sore in my arm. I'm gonna do a little bit of stretching. You can't see it because I don't have a cam, but I'm stretching. Everybody else do the same. Stretching my left arm over my body. Right arm over my body. Left arm out and in. Oh, man. All right. ATB, right? Active Time Battle. Was in play for a lot longer than people realize. Yeah, and that's why I mean, like, it's specifically like the 7 to 8 transition is like, oh man, so many new people got into the system and don't realize the way that things are like subtly changing game over game for the last decade. Anyway. I hope that it sorts itself out. Or that you learn. Whichever one it may be. Which it might be most. 6 to 7 was large. Right, I'm specifically talking about 7 to 8 culturally in the late 1990s. Right? Because 7 was such a cultural phenomenon of so many people getting the most beautiful game on the market. And then you go from Final Fantasy 7 to Final Fantasy 8. All right, what do I do here? Oh, they don't stay in sync. Oh, weird. Okay. Difficulty was at least partly informed by fear of God Gamer mega experts. I understand. I mean, I felt that about this game. And I wouldn't call myself a God Gamer mega expert. Maybe they just felt a little bit more confident in platformer challenge as opposed to like action adventure navigation discovery challenge. Informed by shit like I'm doing now, where people really kind of hold on to these fond memories of the Path of Pain, and they do this focus testing and they go, oh, people really like that stuff. Like, really like it. Like, more than just an optional thing. Like, people really just want more of that in the game. And so they tuned around it. I can understand that. God damn it. Okay. I need to focus. And I don't mean focus my soul. But I do need to focus my soul. Like my outside of game soul. That Nightmare King shit was so annoying. I spent so long trying to beat that boss while my brain was like fogged up, and then I took a step away, walked, had a banana, came back and beat it first try. So annoying. I'm pissed about it. I'm still mad about it. And I feel like it's happening here. I feel like I'm just throwing myself at this right now because the checkpoints are so forgiving that I don't need to actually learn it. I just need to get it right once. See, if I just focus up like a little bit more. It is one thing that I really like about the bosses in this game. And the fact that you don't know how far along you are in the bosses. Right? Like, you have a vague understanding from the stagger states, right? But that's about it. Okay, what is my plan here? Okay, so that one goes all the way across. I understand. Okay. Wait for them to be in sync, and then wait for them to fall out of sync. And then when they fall out of sync, we go boom, boom. Oh god, I didn't do a downward slash. Oh. And, like, you don't really need to worry too much. Because worst comes to worst, you just go back there and you heal up again. Alright. Ow! I was waiting for it to come. I thought it was going to be... I think I got tripped up by the Dreamcatcher thing that showed up in the air. Alright. Some people love a challenge. Some people want their handheld. Nothing wrong with either. I've just been more on the competitive mindset. Yeah, and a lot of people are talking about this. A lot of people are talking about the difficulty and the differentiation between Silksong and Hollow Knight, but also just Silksong in a vacuum. It's just a tough game. And I think that it absolutely can go both ways. Like, I think I can speak for Exac when I don't think that Exac here is like wants their handheld in any respect. I don't think that that's, and I know that's not what you're implying either, but when a new game comes out, it's interesting to get a feel for what is intended and what is like a result of a little bit of like input delay fixing and little things that might be like funky and different and wrong, you know? I love a challenge if it feels like I'm putting in the effort is rewarded and that progression happens because I've learned. I hear you. I mean, you don't have to tell me, man. I had a lot of troubles with this game. Let me offer the advice that you gave me and everybody gave me is like, see it through to the end. And if you still have those feelings when it's all said and done, you know, you're onto something, but it could very well just be something that is part of the progress, you know? You haven't needed to learn this game in a decade. You know what I mean? Because I was I was out. One of my homies bought Silk Song because of the rage. He's no platformers and he basically rage quit. Whoa, that's crazy. I'm so confused. I'm not going to play it for a long while. So, I have no real horse in the race. I'm going to play it on this stream when we eventually do play it. I see what we do. I see what we do. Ouch. See it through. See it through. Because I was... I had my fair share of troubles with Hollow Knight. Because you don't know. You might be doing something in a weird, roundabout, stupid way. You know? I'm doing my best 23 hours in. There's parts where I've been stuck and it doesn't feel like I'm learning. It just feels like I'm hoping for a run where I don't get hit by the bad RNG. I hear ya. I'm curious to see how Silk Song feels too. Yeah, the boring holes, man. Sometimes you're just boring holes. But that sounds like a different... It's like the different side of the spectrum. Oh, I'm going over there. Oh, okay. Sorry, everybody. I'm going here. I'm going there. As I said, we'll get there in summer 2026. Oh, hello. No! Damn. I think you'll be happier with it than I am, but I think you have more patience for gacha style challenge. I mean, it's hard to say because I don't necessarily know what gacha style challenge is without seeing it, and obviously I am not about to pull up a mid-game boss fight from a game I haven't played right now. You know. Ouch. The one thing that I did see, there was one thing that I did see in a TikTok, and it was somebody going like, dude, I would fucking kill for a bench right now. They found a bench, they were like, oh, thank God I found a bench. And then there was like a wooden bear trap that smacked them right as they sat down. And they were like, oh, well, that's Silk Song. And that reminded me of Last of Us Part 2. Has some fun stuff like that. When I think of gacha challenge, that's what I think of. That one gets everyone. Okay, that's the one, when I think about gacha challenge, that's where my brain goes. That's like what I would describe as a gacha challenge. Where it's like, all right, fool me once, you know? So long as I can't get caught by that again. You've done your trick. You got me. But now, if I get hurt by that again, it's my fault. Right? Where it's like relatively unavoidable that first time. It's gonna get everybody. It's there by design. It's there to teach you. Never get too comfortable or whatever. Oh. shit. NES Battletoads. Okay. Again, I beat it. I've played through NES Battletoads. I played it on this stream. The way to win is to already know what's going to happen and what to do. Okay, I understand. I understand. You can't sight read as effectively. It doesn't feel like you're like flow state moving through the world. It's more of like rehearsal and showtime, where you really have to like put the pieces together and then execute perfectly. Like something like this, right? Like you're learning it one section at a time and going like, okay, that's how I do that. That's how I do that. All right, next part. And you just kind of drill that into your memory, and then you can do this, and then you go to the next part and you go, oh, I have no idea what to do here. And so you mess up 100 times, and then you go like, okay, no, I get it. You got to do this. And then I understand. Obviously to a different degree because it's like fights or whatever. But like I felt like that Nightmare King Grimm fight was kind of like that a little bit. It was like you had to learn 6 moves as if they were 6 individual bosses that would pop up at a moment's notice. And so you had to like reflexively know how to react to every move the moment that it appears. And you can't really do that your first time through. You really... God, I'm so sick of those fucking dream catcher things showing up because they look like saw blades. And I just get tripped up. Now that's gacha style difficulty. I hate missing that. That's the worst feeling. Come on. No. Would you call that a difficulty device? I would just call it like, we put those in there for vibes. I think that it's just like unfortunate byproduct of visual effects. Do you think that that was an intended like... And in this area, the dream catchers will look like saw blades, and so it'll kind of be... Yeah, I guess I don't know how... I would have never thought of it as an intent. But I guess it is, right? We got 3 of them that just showed up right there. And they could have very easily turned them off for this section. And they chose not to. So everything is a choice. Even if it's a choice to not make a choice. Definitely, yeah, like Mario Kart blooper. I think is like that's my easiest example. But I agree with you. I think that fucking with your... You know what one I hate? Sometimes I like it. I shouldn't say I hate it all the time. When controls get reversed. I think that's one that's pretty, like, universally, like, one of the least favorite. Anytime there's, like, a confusion status that makes left go right and right go left. Can I say something that's gonna sound annoying and pretentious? I wish these checkpoints weren't here. I wish these checkpoints weren't here. And not because it makes it too easy, but it psychologically makes failure not as big of a deal. Because it's just like, oh, I'll just go right back there again. I'm not super worried about it, because if I die, I'm just right there again. So there's no stakes. There's nothing on the line. And so I'm just doing this, like you said, I'm doing this over and over, waiting for the RNG of like, there it is, I did it. I wish it wasn't here. And I could very easily, fabricate that challenge where I just go back if I die. You know? You know what I mean? I'm not talking about RNG in this instance. I'm just saying what you said about I feel like I'm just waiting. Okay, I cannot bounce off of those. Right, no stakes except for the loss of sanity, exactly. It's just like a slow slip into like repetitious torture. Whereas I feel like I would have more if I was playing this like an arcade game, where if I got a game over, I had to start at level 1 again. At least I would be learning each and every part deeply each time. Am I making any sense? If anything, I think I would like this to be a little bit more Battletoads. Because I'm just kind of... I don't want to say I'm on autopilot. That wouldn't be right. But the fear of failure is very low. Which some people don't like to have a fear of failure as they're playing a game. I like a fear of failure when I'm playing a game. Because I can just do this forever. And I'll get it eventually. Okay, so bounce off of that, dash forward. God damn it. The alternative seems so much worse. Yeah, I think that it would put this area in a different place. It wouldn't be something that I would be able to shotgun. It would be something that I would have to come back to a while from now, right? I'm thinking about like this, the spirit of this level, of this area, in like a level format in a different game. I guess is what I'm trying to dream about. Oh, that's weird. You're right. The alternative is so much worse for Hollow Knight. This works without a doubt the best for this game. I'm just kind of likening it in my own way to what you're saying about the feeling of progression. Trying to learn this section after having to redo the whole thing up to this point would be soul-crushing. In a different game. In a different game, this exact same level in a different video game. Where this is a level, as opposed to an area in an open world. Like, if this was an arcade game and you could feed a quarter and just get a little bit further each time, I'd be all about it. Like, what are the cycles in this? Like, can I do this, like, very fast in a one cycle where all of the saw blades wind up exactly where I want them to? Or are the cycles not resetting when I respawn? Is the timing always the same when you die and come back? Or did you only get a one cycle the first time you entered this zone, and now it's just playing off of the section that the time that you died last? Hello. Okay. Something like a level in Celeste, yeah. I don't understand what's going on there. I think it resets. That's how I keep looking at the game. My friend complained of the benches, and he said, I wish there was a bench right next to the boss fight. And I said, bro, think about the levels that you used to have to tread through just to... And listen, I've said my piece many a time across this stream about boss runbacks being a good thing. Because it is not a boss rush video game. It is an explorative world-building immersion. And I'm talking about Souls in this instance, just to be clear. And sometimes there is a psychological thing that happens in a run back where having that extra 50 steps, I don't know what I'm doing, having that extra 50 steps can make you go, maybe I don't want to be here yet. Whereas if you're right outside the boss door, you're just going to keep knocking on that door and brute forcing it and sending yourself into more misery than you otherwise... Oh. Okay. I know what to do. And not everybody agrees with me on that. I'm not asking everybody to agree with me on that. But it is how I feel. There's something about the run back and how it can minimize the stress of repeated perceived failure. I don't see it as a walk of shame the way other people might. I see it as... I'm with you. I've done the exact same thing on a run back with Silk Song and went to a way new area for 10 hours. I think the run back is a good thing when it provides a break from the struggle of the boss or makes it really clear that you're not ready yet. I think that both of those are the instances that I'm speaking of. Because I think that that happens often in Souls games, especially like more exploratory Souls games like Dark Souls 1. Where you can go like, do I want to be here right now? Why am I doing this? Or you learn how to run back, yeah, or the salt just takes over and you just learn how to run back more efficiently. And sometimes it feels better to get better at the run back, right? It makes the whole product unified as opposed to... Okay, here's the level part. It's like, I really, 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 really have a philosophical problem with people describing Elden Ring areas as legacy dungeons. It is so sad to me. Because you wouldn't describe Dark Souls as legacy dungeon and boss fight. It's like, no, it's just all the game. It's just all, you know, it's a harmony. It's segmenting things out with, like, you get to the run back or what you get to the boss fight and the way to get back is right outside the door. It separates the exploring part of the game with the boss part of the game. And I think that can have repercussions. All right. Oh, I like this, Alpha. I like this a lot. I take it from an online shooter stance, where dying on a smaller map, you're more prone to run right into where you died last time. That's true. You know, I got him down like 80% of the way. If I just respawn and go right there, I can take him down there. I got him. I think about it in like Dota or Deadlock. Okay. I like this. Everybody is saying really good things right now. Okay. Oops. Dome on Modern Warfare 3 compared to a larger map. I can't tell how many times I ran right to where I got shot down. Sure. God. And I'm with Behemoth, for the record. I don't think that this is necessarily the tightest controlling game I've ever played. I think that it's a consistency that you learn. I think that it is... There is some funky stuff in the way that this game moves and how it feels. Sliding off walls is the one that I'm hanging up on right now. All right. Jumping off that's so weird. You just adapt to the delay. Yeah. I gotta practice. The problem I have is when there isn't actually another area to go, or any powering up to do, or any exploring to do. So the run back then just feels like this extra tedious chore to do before you can try again. And I understand that too, for sure. There's this one particular early-ish boss where there's several routes you can take, but none of them are completely safe. I feel like experimenting and figuring out how to avoid damage on those routes got me more in the zone of how to approach the exploration in general, with the reward of having a better advantage for the boss itself. Sure. I know, Exec, you said that you're like around the 20-30 hour mark, so... And I do want to be also clear. This isn't an exercise in Exec learn how to appreciate the damn game. I want to make that clear. I think it's just a fun conversation to have. I don't want you to feel like you have to get defensive because you're expressing grievances and I'm like, well, have you ever thought that your grievances might just be your fault, actually? I don't want that to be how this is coming across, because it's not, because I totally understand. And I've talked about this a lot on this stream. This stream, I I don't want to say I'm playing a character. I'm not playing a character, but there is something about being in this space that I have cultivated and very expressly designed conversationally as like, this is where we give the game the benefit of the doubt, figure out what we're doing, work our way through it, and that's what it's all about here, right? God damn it. And so that's what I'm doing. Because I think it's interesting. I think sometimes just reframing your perspective, or I don't want to say expectations. I think that's the wrong word. What's good, Popsicle? Hollow Knight's going well. Welcome to the Path of Pain. Oh, I found out why it's called the Path of Pain. It shows up on the screen. It says Path of Pain when you enter this area. Earlier on in the stream, I was like, why would they even call it the Path of Pain? Was it like one community member on the Team Cherry forums that was like, man, that way was really painful. It's like a path designed for pain. And it just became like the community name? Nope. It's called this. I feel like there are examples of that. I can't think of any off the top of my head where like the name that it winds up going by is just something that's decided by the community. Like, is the word pacifist ever expressly named in Undertale, or is that community driven? You know what I mean? Like a pacifist run or whatever. It does happen. I can't think of, you know, like people call the other side of that the genocide run, and I can't imagine that is ever used in any official branding of Undertale. You know what I mean? I can't in any. There's no part of me that is like, that's what they called it. It's just what the community has adopted as its name, for better or worse. Oh, that's the worst one. The worst one is when you bounce off it successfully, but then wind up getting too close to the ceiling. It is very satisfying. I think this is a ton of fun. This is like my bread and butter. And the other thing I would say, kind of going back on my other point, I made a comparison of this to like I Want to Be the Guy, right? I Want to Be the Guy has rigid checkpoints just like this. So your progression through the game is checkpoint based. It was just that one section earlier where I was like, man, I would love to play this as an arcade game. Yeah, it literally came up Path of Pain on the screen. This is such a weird thing to have in the game. Right, because it's literally just like, hey, yeah, it's here. People wanted more platforming. Here it is. That's why I think it's weird. It's like hidden behind a false wall in a previously inaccessible area that if you were playing the game originally and got 100%, like I did in the vanilla game, you couldn't come back here. Right? Like this became inaccessible. So they allowed you to get back in here just for the express purpose of doing this. It's so weird. It's so weird. Oh. No, come back. White Palace does become inaccessible after you complete it in the base game. Because I remember vividly, because I was like, whoa, I can't get back in there. Did I miss Path of Pain? And I was told by you guys, like, no, it must not be in base game or whatever. You did not miss it. And so I had to look it up. And yeah, you could not come back in here in the main game when you were completing, like, the true ending. You can go back in now, but you can't redo Path of Pain. Whoa. That's good to know. Dude. Please, why am I facing the wrong... Why? Whatever. There are so many little moments that are like, why? Why when they die would they have you face away from where you need to go? Oh, Path of Pain saves. I guess that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay. What's up, Darth? Oh, shit. Pretty not great today with allergies and stomach issues. Dude, my allergies are so bad. You know, we moved to a completely different region of the United States. And this is like my first fall time here. Like September, October, August, September, October. And I am being just... I'm getting the shit beat out of me, man. It's bad. So I empathize. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh my god. Here we go, here we go, here we go. No. Come on, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I literally just have to... That's my biggest problem. My biggest problem is when the stakes aren't that high because the respawn is right there, I fall into like a boredom spiral. Okay, so that thing flies way out and then flies back. So you kind of have to... You have to save yourself. What's up, KCG? I did the main White Palace, but not this bit. This wasn't in the original game. This was added in this expansion. So I've 100%ed the main game. I am coming back to do this because this was added in Grimm Troupe. It's fun. I'm like... There's something psychologically about relatively low... This is the Path of Pain, yeah. Titled as such by the game. I was always curious if it was like a community named thing or if it was official. It is official. Yeah, it wasn't in the OG. I'm kind of in a weird spot with it. And it's purely me. Because being able to respawn right there, my adrenaline isn't up. I'm really low adrenaline moving through this. And so like my reaction times aren't super high. And it's got me in this weird spot where like I'm just kind of throwing my body at this until I get it, instead of going like, okay, each time I attempt this is very scary and the stakes are very high. I have to lock in. No. That's what we've kind of been talking about. The idea of Silk Song's changes and how much of it is interesting and how much of it is kind of funky. Where do you fall on this? Because you just played through Hollow Knight for the first time like this past month. So you're fresh. I'm relatively positive I'm just asset platforming. Got it. No. Oop. Do you want to know community jokes surrounding this area? Yeah? Yeah, I don't care. I'm part of the community now. Unless it's something that is gonna spoil like whatever is on the other side. Then no, because this is my first time through it. I did beat, I think, the main platforming challenge. Sick. No. Getting through White Palace at all implies that you can't be that bad at platforming. That's very true too. Hive blood. I don't think I've ever used that. People just always make jokes about why the White Palace has so much buzzsaw. Why was the king obsessed with buzzsaws? Yeah. Super Meat Boy player. I really liked structurally that the White Palace was like 4 or 5 different independent individual platforming challenges. Where you got all the way to the end and then flipped a switch and then that opened up the next one. I think that psychologically works better than going right here and just being able to kind of refill your tank right in with the challenge right in front of you. I think that it was like, you have this far to go. If you die, you die. And then you just got to start it over. It's functionally very similar. It makes you feel like you're doing it with less health. You know what I mean? It's purely like a mind game thing. Because I'm just like, I'm right here. And I don't feel like I have to clutch up. I just feel like, oh, eventually I'm just going to do it. You know? Exactly. You can run out of soul and then you really have to like clutch up. And this just doesn't have that same clutch factor. Aside from like just doing it. Which is clutch in its own way. I guess what I'm saying is, this isn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. Unfortunately. It's cool, but it's just kind of... I did beat the Grimm stuff already. Yeah. It's cool, but I just... it was good. It was good. Have you done it? Have you done the Grimm stuff? Did you fight that boss and do all that stuff before heading out? You skipped the Ultra version. Okay, so I did the main boss, and I was like fiending for more. And so I didn't skip the Ultra version. I went in for the Ultra version, and then I just proceeded to like... I needed to eat. I needed something in my system. I was doing like 40% brain capacity, brain fog, fucking hypoglycemic speed runs, and just like dying, but learning it. And then I was like, let me stand up and get something to eat. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a fruit bar, whatever. And then I got up, I had a banana, I had a fruit bar, I had 2 Aussie bites, I had a glass of water, I came back, I beat it first try. And it just kind of pissed me off. Because it's one of those things where it's like, you know, oh, they're so good, dude. Hang on, I actually have a picture of them up on screen right now because somebody else had asked. Come on now. Image, open image, and new tab. It's like a oatmeal cookie in like a muffin form. So it's like oats, apricot, flaxseed, sunflower seed, honey, coconut, quinoa, chia seed. It is like, oh, it's so good. You get them at Costco. They are like insane. I love them so much. I highly recommend them. They're very, 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 very good. And so I just crushed a few of these and came back and beat it first try coming back post Aussie bite. Fig Newmans, nice. Right, context clues, I gathered. Like Fig Newtons, but good. I like a Fig Newton too, don't get me wrong. But yes, they are better than Fig Newtons for sure, in my opinion. They're so good. They're like a nice like breakfast, like just have a couple of them and with your coffee. You know, it's like good morning fiber. And then it's like a seeds and grains bread version of like a mini muffin. Yo, what's good, Arvid? This is cracking. Great to see you, man. How are you? Oh, that was stupid. Well familiar with how this cracks. I was just saying, and you might be able to back me up or call me crazy. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. I find it structurally kind of boring. Like, the areas of challenge are not really long enough to make you go like, oh my god, just a little bit more, just a little bit, okay, I gotta clutch up, everybody shut up, I gotta clutch up. Like, there isn't any of that, and so it just feels like I'm just throwing my body at this thing until I get it. Oh, this is a checkpoint. This is like the 5th or 6th checkpoint of the challenge itself. And then I can just go back and... But every major checkpoint has a full gas station right here. So every major checkpoint, you're not scared of anything. That's what it is. I have like an unlimited gas station membership. I don't need to worry about anything. And so like I want it to be thrilling and scary and hard. And it is hard. But I'm just kind of bored. Like it's very much one of those like as compared to the third Colosseum, right? Where the third Colosseum was hard and you were like, "Oh my god, I'm right at the end. I have to clutch up right now. Or else I'm going all the way back to it." And this is just me. I think, you know, this is one of those examples where expectation plays a very big part in the first playthrough experience and how a first playthrough can be kind of taken down by perceived understanding of what's exciting and what's not. You just want to get to the part you're trying to learn so you can move forward? No, the opposite. The opposite. I want this part to feel scary every time I do it. It's like, okay, I know what to do here. Hang on. I just got to do it. Okay, bounced off of that. Good. Okay, saw blade, got it. Third one. All right, bounce. Okay. Whew. Everybody shut up. I got to focus. Right? Like, I can fabricate that thrill, but it's not real. Because I know that, like, if I lose right there, it's not like I lost about 8 seconds of progress. And it's just like, okay, just go back to the drawing board and do it again. Does that make sense? Whereas now it's just like, all right, well, didn't get it that time. Let me take it back. Hang on. I don't know. It's a pretty specific feeling. The devs might agree with you. It's just as far as how it feels coming from balance. That makes sense. It's partly a difference in the experience of how that concern plays out. Right. Yes. Right now, there is nothing on the line except for time. Like, I don't really get, like, the feeling of accomplishment. I get the feeling of relief from not losing. So, I think the negative, like the adrenaline rush from worry that something bad is going to happen that you avoid is more thrilling to me than the adrenaline rush of achieving whatever it might be. I guess. It's like winning a game of tic-tac-toe versus winning a game of chess. If you lose a game of tic-tac-toe, you go, all right, just draw the lines again. Let's go again. Like rock, paper, scissors. Like, I feel like I'm playing rock, paper, scissors against the game right now. Whereas if I was locked into a 40-minute game of chess and I lost, it's like, fuck. Okay. Next time. I know your strategy now. Let's go. One more. And there's a fine line in balancing that. But I think that these checkpoints are skewing to the side of tic-tac-toe, where I'm not really like learning anything. I don't know. I don't want to be a bummer. I'm just trying to explain how it's feeling for me. I want to care that I'm messing this up. And I don't. Because I have nothing to worry about. Because I have the safety net of the unlimited gas station right here. And so I'm just kind of like comfy in fucking up until I get it. Like, I don't have to like turn anything on. You know, I don't have to turn my swag on to get to the end of this. I don't care. Whereas Battletoads, for example, you get to the end of Battletoads and you know, okay, if I mess this up, it's back to the beginning for me. So I gotta do it. That's the difference. It's just how my brain responds to, I don't know, stress. No, because that's not the same kind of like that sort of external pressure, like a death counter or punishments. It's not the same. Because that purely feels like rubbing my nose in it, right? It doesn't feel like orchestrated. Ah, shit, I double jumped first. I was supposed to dash first and then double jump. To approximate the feeling. Yeah. No, I mean, because I know it would all be fake, I think is the thing. Like, I could very well right now just not refill my tank, and then if I die, go back to the beginning. I could give myself Not fake if you're down there doing real push-ups, right. But it's not... It's my design. It's not the game's design. Then we get into the Hades problem, where you beat Hades once, and it's like they give you too many options, and it's like, I don't want to make my own dinner. The whole reason why I'm playing this game is because I'm at your restaurant. You're the cook. Why are you... I don't know. I think the difference is that I am not incentivized to give it my all. And so I'm not going to give it my all because I don't need to. And so there's a sense of like... If I got here and the checkpoints were further and farther between, I said the same thing twice in a row. I would be like, okay, settle in. I got to give it my all right now, right? I got to give it my all. Whew. Here we go. Fuck. Like, I can create an illusion of the feeling. But in the back of my mind, I know, like, okay, if I mess that up, it's 12 seconds and I go right back to the, never-ending fountain. Whereas I can't fake it with the third Colosseum. When you get to the end of that Colosseum, it's like, please, everybody shut up. I have to get there. And by everybody, I mean, like, the voices in my head. I tend to get disinvested in the other direction. Yeah. Again, it's entirely just me. But, like, right now, I'm just kind of going through the motions. Like, I feel like I got, like, 5 or 6 good attempts when this was brand new. And I was like, okay, let's see if I can sight read this. I didn't sight read it, and so now it's just like, whatever. I'll get it eventually. But I can lock myself in. You ready? Oh, shit. There's absolutely a numbing factor, especially on something like this. Yep, music, palette, all of it. Ah. All right, I'm gonna turn it. I'm gonna just fabricate the focus and make every attempt matter. But then you get stuff like that, and it's like, why does it matter? It doesn't. you get a death like that, and it's like, who gives a fuck, man? Like, I've seen people in the lead up to Silksong, right, over the last few weeks, doing like Pantheon attempts. Like, I know Mocha Pandas was doing Pantheon attempts, Gizmo was doing some Pantheon attempts, just people just across the board going like, which is something that I don't know what it is. I don't have that DLC yet, but I have a vague understanding where it's a boss rush. And every time I click in for like a second, because it's like, oh, I fought that boss. I remember that. Everybody seems bored. It's like, I'll give it another go today. What really knocks me out of it is usually the less the lack of high stakes and more when it feels like I'm being punished for trying. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if we're talking about those things, those are like, there's an X and Y axis there. Right? I think being punished or rewarded for trying and then high and low stakes are like an X and Y axis. And you can like make one of those heat maps. Right? And then you have a Z-axis, which is difficulty of the challenge. You have the difficulty of the challenge itself, how high or low the stakes are, and then the end reward if you are rewarded or punished for trying and or succeeding. Shit, I had to wait for that saw blade. Come on. Like the Zote fight that I fought however many times, trying to do it all 10 times, right? Which I learned, KCG, in all of the other versions of the game, they dropped the candle count on that Grey Prince Zote fight to 4. In the original version of the game in Hidden Dreams, the candle count was 10. And so I beat him 10 times, and each time he was doing one more mask of damage. The difficulty was high. The stakes were low because I just respawned right outside of the boss arena, right? Stakes were low, didn't really matter too much. And then the reward was low. High stakes within the fight, right? That's true. That's true. Because, you know, the nature of a boss, by the time you get to the second or third stagger, you're like, okay, here we go. Everybody shut up. I got to do this right now. Which is like what I was saying earlier. I think it's cool that there aren't health bars. Because it gives you that moment of like, shut up. I don't know how much is left, but I know I'm close. And so it gives you this like balance of you still have to play cautious. You can't get too greedy. Monster Hunter W. That's a huge Monster Hunter W. God. I don't think... The other thing I'm going to say is I don't think this could be as hard as it is with my desired form of progression. It would need to be more forgiving moment to moment. Like the ceiling spikes would need to be gone, I think, is like the big obvious one. Like that. I think if you wanted this to be like a longer and higher stress situation, it would need to be retuned a little bit. It would need to be retooled. So part of the difficulty is that it is this short burst of like hyper masochistic spikes on the ground, spikes on the ceiling, spikes everywhere you look, buzz saws. I find it inscrutable. Yeah, it's strange. It's good. I mean, it's good, but it's not my type of difficulty. I think it's another thing where it's like path of pain. Those 3 words evoke something in me, and this doesn't feel like it feels like I'm doing, you know how people do the Adirondack Trail in chunks? And they say, I've done the Adirondack Trail, but they did like 20 miles of it one summer and then 80 miles of it another summer, and like did it over the course of a decade in chunks. I think that's what it is. I think I didn't really do the path of pain in my head. The path implies to me the full path. I'm sure there are people on the forums complaining bitterly about Team Cherry ruining the game by giving in to the baby gamers and reducing the number of candles. For sure. You haven't really done the path of pain until you're on the speedrun leaderboard. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not taking anything away from anybody or myself. I think it's just what the words path of pain evokes. This doesn't feel like a literal path to me. Like, I would want it to be in my head, and again, I'm playing into expectation here and what I want it to be, and it can't be that because it can only be what it is. But in my head, I'm like, the path of pain is like a path that you go on, and if you mess up, you start at the top of the path of pain. And that's not what we're really dealing with here. I've done 80% of the path right now, or 60% of the path right now, or 75% of the path right now, and I'm doing the last bit of the path. But at this point, what's past, I don't know if I could do it again. Oh, I only get 1 bounce. Okay, and then it's too fast. Ha! Let me heal up. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Everything that I'm describing is like purely just personal preference based on what I grew up on and what like resonates for me. Right. You have to grab a coffee and a snack, so I'm about to beat it. This is a very, very, very fun platforming challenge. I think I liked the regular White Palace more. I think there was a difficulty there that was a bit more scrutable, like KCG said, in a fun way. Damn. But yeah, thanks everybody for chilling. Grimm Troupe stuff was awesome. This is a great expansion. I mean, this alone, I feel like they could have snuck this into like a standalone little patch without a name. Imagine like just an update that's like the Path of Pain has opened. And that's all the patch was. It wasn't part of like one of the big content updates. It just said the Path of Pain has opened. And then it gets data mined instantly. Neither did I. I was actually really worried when I beat the White Palace. In the OG game, you couldn't go back in after you beat it. And so I was like, wait a second. Everybody talks about that Path of Pain. Did I do it? Was that it? That didn't seem so bad. And everybody was like, no, you didn't do it. It's back in there. And I went to go check it out, and I was like, I can't get back in there. Because they turn off the dream in the base game. The Dream Nail is really cool. The way that the Dream Nail came to be is very funny to me. I was listening to an interview with Team Cherry in like 2016, right? Before the game came out. And somebody, I think it was like a Radio Adelaide, so it was like their local radio station was interviewing them about the game before they were big. They were just like a Kickstarter story. And they were like, well, tell us about the Dream Nail. And they were like, oh, well, the Dream Nail originally wasn't going to be in the game, but we were talking to a good friend of ours who's also a game developer, and he said we needed something different to make it stand out. You know, whatever, I'm just going to paraphrase here, but like Half-Life 2 has its gravity gun, Mario Odyssey has throwing the cap. We needed something that was, or Ocarina of Time has the ocarina itself. We needed like a key item that differentiated it from just being a Metroidvania. It needed an item that kind of tied it all together, and we came up with the Dream Nail. There's really no reason for it. It's just, we just needed something different. And I thought that was like so refreshingly honest. And it was, I don't know if you remember the game. It came out a few years ago. I think it launched on Game Pass. It was called Ghost Song. You were like this green space-faring thing. Okay, that's like they're good friends. The guy who did Ghost Song is like a Team Cherry buddy for years and years and years and years when they were both making like Flash games and stencil games. And it was that guy that suggested the Dream Nail. It was the Ghost Song guy. Because they didn't have it. They were literally just making a game about starting in a town on the surface and just going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into this little world. And the dreams were like completely an afterthought. like Ghost Song for the gall to have a human proportioned indie protagonist. You know what it kind of reminds me of? And this is like a weird pull. The way that the limbs move in that game, the way that that guy looks and feels and moves, reminds me of a game called And Yet It Moves, which is like a papercraft game where like you're made out of individual pieces of paper and like all of the animations are like through tweening, where the paper just kind of like hinges on the body itself. That's like when I think of Ghost Song, I think of And Yet It Moves. Man, Ghost Song. I remember following that before Hollow Knight was a glint in the eye, and then it just didn't come out for so long I forgot what the title was. You got it. Here it is. This game was originally developed in that engine Stencil. We talked about it in like the episode 0 of this, that this was a stencil program, which was kind of like sort of an evolution of Flash in a lot of ways. It allowed for like hand-drawn stuff, and then they pivoted to Unity. Ghost Song was also stencil, and so those guys were like friends via stencil community. Oh, I was vamping. Exec. I started talking about other stuff because I knew you weren't here. I was waiting for that message. And I know everybody's going to be like, yeah, sure, but I promise it's true. Yeah, the Dream Nail is sick. Yeah, you missed our Australian indie dev block. All right. Focus up. Oh. Oh, I have to dash first and then double jump. Yeah, we know that. Okay. Damn. That's hard. Ugh! Alright, don't die. Heal up. Back to the gas station. Stupid. What's up, Mickey Moo? Okay. Okay. Fuck. The cycle was all wrong. I couldn't get into a position where I could pogo off of that spike. My cycles. No, I did it again. I know what I have to do there. Oh my god. Fuck off. Dude. All right. No. The muscle memory is to double jump first. And so I keep double jumping first, but I need to save it for after. Oh. Ugh. Oh my god. Watch it be the same thing, by the way. Watch me get up, eat dinner, come back, get it first try. Just watch. Just watch. Watch it be my reaction times are all fucked up because I've just been doing it too long and I'm just like the numbing factor is taking over. And I get up, I have food, I get my body moving, and then I come back and it's a wrap. Because, like, tell me why I just pressed the left trigger to dash right there. All right, here we go. What's up, Ace? Great to see you. We've been having a lot of talk about it. It's not my type of difficulty. I think that the very short and frequent checkpointing coupled with infinite continues is like, it's mind numbing. I wish it was like, and again, doesn't matter. I wish it was like 15 to 20% less difficult. Like, make it the exact same thing. Take the spikes off the ceiling, but have the amount of checkpoints. Give me like a lot of room between it so that I really get, or make it no checkpoints. See if I care. Make the Path of Pain, you're doing it all in one shot. I have like, my brain is like numb right now and it sucks. No, I did it again. Because I'm still doing the pogoing from the spikes beside it. And so I'm used to going pogo, double jump, pogo, double jump, pogo, double jump. And so I'm doing the double jump like reflexively after the pogo and I'm losing out as a result. The game's great. I've been playing it in a pretty interesting way. I downloaded a launcher of the game that was exclusively vanilla. I think it was like 1.0.3.7 before any of the DLC came out. I 100%ed the vanilla base game. Download from like, July of 2017. And then what I've been doing over the last couple of months is going back for each of these content packs over time. Kind of like reliving what it would have felt like if you played the game the day that it came out and then went back for Hidden Dreams, went back for Grimm Troupe, went back for Lifeblood. And it's been interesting, both for me, but also like people here in chat realizing like, oh, that was added in an expansion. Like the dream gates, the little teleporter thing was not in the base game. That was added in Hidden Dreams. So when you played the original game vanilla, you didn't have that. Sprint Master, for example, the Charm Sprint Master wasn't in the original game. They added 4 charms into this. I found 2 of them. There are still 2 that I don't have. And so it's cool to just like watch after some time away the growth of this game again, especially like coupled right up alongside Silksong's release, because I didn't pick this game being like, and Silksong's going to come out in September. Nobody knew. And so I was just playing the game saying like, I should play through Hollow Knight, I've tried it a couple of times. I always bounced off. This is going to be the time that I really lock in. And It's been fun. It's been incredibly rewarding. So we've still got Lifeblood, which I don't know what's in that. And then Godmaster is the fourth one, and I know that adds in the Pantheons. So I haven't done any of those. They don't exist in the game right now. I fucked myself. It's been fun. It's been fun. The game's really, really, really good. As I'm sure everybody knows. Killing the final boss of this DLC, the Nightmare King. We did do that already. That was a lot of fun. Okay, here's my plan. I know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, really fun fight. I was like bashing my head up against the wall and then realized I was just hungry. And so I went and I got a snack. I ate a banana, I had a glass of water, and I came back and I beat it first try. That was fun. Really good boss. I described it earlier. It's like fighting like 5 individual bosses that all have their own like split. It's like fighting a boss with like multiple personality, where you have to learn how each of their personalities act and react split seconds to each and every one of them. It felt like I was like fighting 5 mini bosses. Yeah, really, really, really cool boss. Oh. I'm sure anybody here would be able to tell you. I don't know if anything was missed, if anything's different, right? Anybody, feel free to speak up if you watched it and noted, like, notable changes to... Because I know that they have added, like, moves to bosses. Looked standard. Like, I know in one of the patches they added more moves to Nosk. So the version of Nosk that I fought was like... It didn't have a lot of the moves that people are familiar with when they play the game. Because they added a bunch in one of the patches. I need to eat something. And I know dinner's coming, so... I'm gonna eat something. We're gonna watch some fun Hollow Knight related videos. And then when I come back, we're gonna beat this and it's gonna be no problem. Because I'm just not here right now. I'm just totally numb. I'm just going through the motions. I'm not even watching what's going on. I'm just pressing the muscle memory buttons of like how to get through this, and I'm not paying attention to cycles at all. I'm literally just on autopilot. Like that. Like, why did I jump there? Because I'm not paying attention. Because I don't need to. Because I just come back to this exact same spot. Who cares? Having some distance between the refill and the checkpoint might mitigate that sort of no matter what I do, I come back to the same spot. Yeah. I just feel like I'm just... It's... I don't know. Again, the other side of it is you couldn't make it this hard if you changed anything. Like a boss run back, but for your soul statue. Exactly. You would have to tweak the difficulty. Because a big part of it being, you know, quote unquote manageable, this perfected is that you're out and you're back in the game in no time. You know what I mean? There was a really good game, and Bjork, I'm gonna... Our mutual acquaintance that I only, you know, really met through playing their game. A game on itch called Washout Spire that I played for Goaty Quest. Wound up being one of my favorite games of the year, of that year, because I think that it struck this exact balance that I'm talking about the best. Because there was like no pomp and circumstance to how you moved through that level. You died, you just popped, you came back. It was a very simple respawn, but it was like soul-crushingly, pixel-perfectly difficult. And it was super engaging because it never shamed you. It didn't have like health that you had to worry about. It didn't have anything. It was just like, this is a really tough portion. 12 chapters, no coyote time, lock the fuck in, get in there, and it felt great. The way that the double jump worked, you had like a double jump sweet spot where you could only get like a second jump if you pressed it at the right time during the jump arc, which is like an insane, right? Am I remembering that correctly? It's like an insane design decision to have a double jump that you can only use at a certain point in your jump arc, but it was so effective. I really loved everything about the way that that game felt. One of the hardest games I've ever completed, and that had relatively short checkpoints like this, but it was way more minimal in construction. So it was like, it was literally like putting the pieces together was something like 8 jumps total, right? But you had to nail them. It's like the ultimate version of that rehearsal performance, right? That we were talking about earlier. I think that game is astoundingly good. I think that it's a game for total sickos. I think that it's like masterpiece level platform design. I really do. Whether it's intentional or not, I think that it's a game that is just so good. And I'm being reminded of that a lot in this right now. Because Washout Spire has very short checkpoints like this, like what we're doing right now. But there's just subtle distinctions in the design of everything around it because Washout Spire only needed to be it, right? And the name alone, just Washout Spire, it's like, quit anytime, dude. Go ahead and wash out. Not everybody's going to make it through this. You know? I can't recommend it enough. It's so insanely good. I really loved it. And I think that on the total opposite side of things, it's kind of where my, like, that's where my home is when it comes to precision platformer hell games. Like Celeste, I like Celeste. Celeste has too much talking. Why do they talk so much in that game? Why is everybody talking so much in that game? Just relax. I need to get back to it. I still haven't beaten it. It was hard. What I started doing with Washout Spire, because it was so difficult, I was like, I gotta get going. I gotta play other games. I can't be playing Washout Spire every stream. And so what I did was I made it like the 10 minutes before the stream started. I just did 10 minutes of Washout Spire in silence, trying to cross the finish line. Like, it was like, you guys, there's no more commentary to be made. There's nothing else that I can say about this game. You've seen it. I've seen it. We've all been living it. Oh, God. Oh, God. There's no way. I might die. I died. Okay. Now we start from the top, right? Thank God. Okay, here we go. We put the pieces together. Let's go. Ready? Let me do it after dinner. 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 All right. Now, if you could see the camera right now, I got a big-ass smile on my face. They earned that. They earned that. That's good. That's good. All right, all right. They want me to put those pieces together? I'll put those pieces together. I got it. I should have healed before going down there. I didn't have full health. All right, here we go. Hang on, hang on. I'll be back. I'm going to go check on this food. I'll be back in a little bit. See, Peaches, I was like seconds away from raiding you yesterday, but I had to run. I was seeing Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge in theaters, and I saw you were playing Disco. And I was like, oh, God, I want to be able to, like, actually talk for a minute. And I wouldn't have been able to do that yesterday. But how are you enjoying it? For those who don't know, I have infamously played 26 minutes of that game on January 24th, 2020, when it was winning Game of the Year awards. And I went, why are they all talking like that? And I turned it off. I couldn't handle it. I was straight up not having a good time. Why are they all talking like that, man? Why are the voices in your head talking like that? The voice in my head is like, man, I could get a burger right now. All right. So, we're back at the Path of Pain. I just died to the two guys in the Path of Pain, and I said thank God. I have been expressing just a bit of like my discontent structurally with this, and I am glad that the game really just showed its teeth. It is very exciting to me that they had a little trick at the end. And I am not annoyed at all by the thought of redoing it. I'm stoked. There's no other medium where you can get away with 5 hours of introducing things without resolving a single one of them. Yeah, I got 26 minutes. The thing is, I know I'm gonna like that game, you know, when I put on the Caprolog hat, you know, and I like really dig in and learn about Zaum and learn about that writer and all that stuff, you know. I know I'm gonna like it. It's just one of those games that at this point in my life, I can just remember the time that I turned it on and I went, why is everybody talking like this? Oh my God, I have a headache. And I turned it off almost immediately before I even left, like, because he wakes up in a room and then he can like die very easily. And then you go down into like a lobby and there's a dance floor, right? I didn't make it out of that room with the dance floor because everybody talked like that. The voices in your head talked like that. The characters around you talked like that. And I bounced off maybe the hardest I've ever bounced off of a game in my life because I was just so disinterested in how it felt. That's not to say I'm not gonna not like it later. I probably will when I put myself in the zone of like, okay, this is a very writer's world, you know? I don't know what the influences are, but I think of like Pynchon, Inherent Vice, sort of. What if you absolutely hate it? There's a chance, man. If there's ever a game that I could or would absolutely hate, I gotta be honest with you, man, that's up there. It just seems so sad about itself and about the state of everything around it. And that's so... Oh, they have a shortcut. No, don't give me a damn shortcut. Make me do the whole thing, guys. Don't be scared. Why are you scared? If I don't do the shortcut, it's just stupid. No, don't take it. Give me a break. Don't take it. I'm gonna take it. I opened it. I just forgot that I did. Oh. Is the sadness validated by the fact that they were correct? Oh, it's totally validated sadness. I think it's a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me that wrote and developed and created that game. Don't get me wrong. And I'm probably going to like it when I, you know, give it a go. Give it a good, honest try. But as it stands, vibes-wise, it is, like, pretty far from where I want to be. Oh, specifically about what ended up happening with the studio. Oh, true. That, too, of course. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. It's just like loud buzzsaws. Now, I don't know how much of the... As much as the cynicism of how awful the world makes us treat one another. Yes. Yes. I understand. And in a lot of ways, I agree. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. It's very book club core. Cool. And like, it's a good place for this stream, I think. You know? Book club game. My Discord started as a game club. Ow. Spend 5 hours setting stuff up without resolving any of it is a very funny way to describe it. I'm sure there are books that are like that, man. What TV you've been watching? Are you asking about the new HBO Mark Ruffalo show? I haven't started it yet. Oh. I thought you were like specifically asking me. And I do really want to watch it. The new Mark Ruffalo is a cop detective HBO show. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I know that it's the Mayor of Easttown person. But I don't know anything else about it. Other than, like, you know, I've spoken at length about how formative the idea of HBO night was for me. Bertrand Bonello? I actually don't know who that is. The Ruffassance? Dude. Hey, I do want to voice something game designerly about this game. These little creatures are giving me soul. Okay? I think that is a very cool way to go about it. You can self-sustain so long as you're making it through that portion. There's stakes there, there's stress there, there's okay, I gotta hit these jumps. One, because it's progress, but two, because that's what's going to make it so that I can survive later. I think that these enemies as platforms, super clever. Super clever. I really, really like how that's structured. Because I can't just throw my body at it too much. I have to at least hit these. Because you gotta, you gotta give in order to take. Oh, fuck. The Beast. I haven't seen The Beast. I love Mark Ruffalo, though, man. I've been a Mark Ruffalo superhead since... I think the first new movie I saw with him when it came out was The Kids Are All Right. That movie rocks. You ever seen The Kids Are All Right? I haven't seen it since it came out. I don't know if it, like, aged poorly as far as, like, you know, because it's dealing with, like, a lesbian family, you know, two lesbian mothers and their kids. And it's about, like, the sperm donor or whatever. And I don't know how much it's, like, aged in a super progressive-y, like... way, but at the time it probably is fine if I really had to think about it. Movie rocks. I thought that movie was great. Who else is in that? Mark Ruffalo's in that. Have you seen Collateral? Not yet. That's it's not Tilda Swinton, is it? Is she one of the moms? Yeah, I'm going through Michael Mann in order. Obviously, he's very good in Zodiac, right? That's one. One of the many great David Fincher films in modern American film canon. One of many. Most recently, Fassbender in The Killer. Now that's a killer. That's a killer role. That movie... is so good. You know what I like the most about that movie? Is that it is David Fincher saying, don't forget that I directed music videos for years. It's a music video of a thriller. Like, the whole movie is shot and feels like a tightly choreographed music video. And it doesn't quite have that like Netflix flatness that everything now does. It's got some color to it. It's got some whimsy. It's got some style. That's what I heard. I don't think his hit rate is quite as high as most people. I love Seven. I like Panic Room. Panic Room's okay. I love Gone Girl. Gone Girl's so fucking fun, man. Gone Girl's like, dude, this is popcorn. If the killer is a music video, Gone Girl is popcorn. Gone Girl is popcorn as a movie. That's such a fucking like generational bend too. You ever make popcorn while watching music videos? No, I can't say I have. Just make a bowl of popcorn and like put on the latest Sabrina Carpenter video. Such a good Ben. Rosamund Pike, role of a lifetime right there. She crushed it. Perfectly cast. I got a chance to see Gone Girl like a advance screening. I used to like in my town growing up, I would like scour these websites that were like advanced. You had to sign up for them for advanced screenings, and then you had to take like a survey, like focus testing, focus group stuff. And so sometimes they were like a couple of weeks before the movie came out to like see how much they were going to market it in the region with the different demographics. Sometimes they were like further out and you had to do like a what did you feel about sequences sort of thing. I was doing that earlier this year and they just kept making me watch dog shit adult animated series. I saw the Zac Efron and Seth Rogen movie Neighbors. Did you ever see Neighbors? Oh, I didn't get paid for them. I just got to see movies. Neighbors was fun. Behemoth, aren't you a Sorkin hater too? Do I remember that about you? Like, the way that I find Disco Elysium writing, like, tough to wrap my head around. People feel that way about Sorkin's walk and talks. Or are you into it? Oh, this was like a virtual portal thing? Oh no, I was going to the movie theater, man. I was going to the AMC 20. And I was lining up like 2 hours before screen time. And people would be like, what are you here for? And I'd be like, I can't tell you. Okay. Sorkin is appropriately rated, which is to say, very highly rated. Ah. Oh, I gotta heal. If I got it time, like, first try. If I came back and got it first try. There was a chance. There was a chance. I can't lie. Obviously, there's just like the way that this game jumps and moves. I'm just going to take some silly little deaths like that ceiling hit. It's just going to happen. But I'm falling. I can feel myself falling back into the routine of this. I can't let myself fall into the routine. I'm like back in the routine zone. David Fincher doesn't know how normal people talk. I think it depends. David Fincher doesn't care. Distinct difference. I think he can. I think that Brad in Seven is like a regularly written guy, right? He's got all those stupid dogs in his apartment. He invites Morgan Freeman over for dinner and they got the train going by in the background. There's this one line, he goes, "He's a nutbag." And I always think about that. I always think about Brad Pitt saying he's a nutbag about John Doe when Morgan Freeman is trying to be like, he's a regular guy, man. You got to be a little respectful, right? Like, he may be a psycho, but something brought him to this. And Brad Pitt's like, shut the fuck up, man. He's a nutbag. I always think about it. I wonder if there's a YouTube video that's just Brad Pitt saying he's a nutbag. Can somebody pull up he's a nutbag.mp4? This will be the one time we can send links in chat. Stilted nature to his dialogue and the delivery of his actors that really throws me out of it when I already am not bought in. Yeah, he's very cold. He's a very cold guy. Like, all of his characters in his movies are, like, I don't know what to say. The thing that I can think of is, like pawns in a board game. You can't find it? I'll take matters into my own hands. Brad Pitt, he's a nutbag. He's a nutbag. No! Let me see it! He's a nutbag! What did they do to yarn.co? They got rid of yarn? He's a nutbag. That's it. That's the line. That's it. That's where he says it. He says it right there. He's a nutbag. Hang on. Just because this fucker's got a library card doesn't make him Yoda. Hang on. I need to find the video. You got it? Thank you. Hold on tight, everybody. All right. I heard the chords. We gotta go in. Thank you for this, KCG. Thank you for what we're about to watch.
Tell me she's all right! Render a suspect, David. No!
Does he say nutbag in this? I'll lose it. There's nothing here to care about. Dude, if you bait and switched me and it's just Need to Pine Grove Detective Mills, That's okay. It was worth it. It was worth it. He's a nutbag. Clip Cafe. Got it.
This guy's methodical, exacting, and worst of all, patient.
He's a nutbag. Just because the fucker's got a library card doesn't make him Yoda.
It's the hand.
This
It's
guy's methodical,
nutbag.
exacting, and worst of all, patient.
He's a nutbag.
I love that delivery. So it's like it has echoed in my head for genuinely 15 years now. He's a nutbag. All right. I gotta unmute Hollow Knight. Nothing here to care about. You ever hear the audio tree version of that song? Where he's like, what's that sound? That song about? It's nothing worth saying aloud. So then, a lot of line deliveries in Moneyball that have a similar staccato, for sure, dude. When are they gonna make a Midwest emo indie game? They already did. It just got a remake. You gotta play Off, brother. They did. Off is your Midwest emo indie game. That's emo pop. All right. I'm not owned. It's different. At least give me something off of that where it's like, oh yeah, you did get that pretty quick. I think it is a remake. I think it's got new music and a whole bunch of stuff. Mocha Pandas was playing it recently and kind of broke some of the structure down. They put it on Switch. I thought it was crazy that they put IB on Switch. And not only put it on Switch, showed it in a Nintendo Direct. That's wild, dude. What the hell is going on in the gaming landscape? They got IB in a Nintendo Direct, man. You can't just do that. That's what I'm saying. It's fucked up. You don't need to say they. You can call them out directly. Toby Fox. What you have done to the freeware gaming community. On one hand, I thank you. And on the other hand, what the hell? I think Toby Fox did some music for the Off remake, by the way. But I really do think that it's the effect of Undertale's popularity that all of these, 2D joints. On the other hand, meet me outside the Denny's at midnight. Oh. No, dude, why? That buzzsaw move's so weird, man. Alright. I gotta be sure to have some health. I actually don't need to have backup health. I just need to have enough for that fight. Oh, moving too slow, man. Oh my god, dude. The hezzy. I was waiting for it to come back and it just hung out just a little longer than I anticipated. Alright, alright, alright. Hang on. I'm curious about something. Okay. All right. Where am I? What the fuck was that? Why? Why did the whole screen go black? What the hell just happened? Did the screen go black for everybody, or did I physically black out? Oh, wall spikes. Thank you so much. That makes perfect sense. Yes, I jumped, I hit the wall spike, it respawned me in the middle of the arena. Oh my god. The seal of binding. Intricate seal of an ancient design, used to contain a powerful force or to preserve something of great importance. Nice. And it was all a dream. That was fun. That was fun. I had it in my head as something bigger than it was. That was awesome. That was cool. I'm in. I'm in. You have to take, again, like everything else in this game, you have to take it in as a holistic experience. It's the fact that the game has it all. It's the fact that it has that, and I just left a super thrilling boss battle to go do Super Meat Boy, and then I can go and wander around an environment and do all this different. It rocks. It rocks. It rocks. Subtle little lore niblet for sure. Okay. I love the little tender moment of looking down and looking back up. I gotta be honest, I don't even recognize that thing. Where was this? Is this the end game? Is this like before you fight the Hollow Knight? And that was the baby version of the Hollow Knight in the... It's also literally what went wrong. Okay, I gotta tell you, I don't get it. Feel free to just sentence breakdown. Because that was this knight, right? That's him. Effectively kid version. Because the antlers were different. It obviously wasn't me. And so they bound whatever the not scarlet rot, whatever it's called in this game, away, but it was seeping through anyway. There's a point where they say that the Hollow Knight was supposed to be the perfect vessel, but was spoiled by an idea instilled. And that was the moment that he was spoiled because the king looked at him. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm trying my best here. Obvious, not that the king looked at him, but they had like some implicit, hidden away friendship. It wasn't like a master subject situation. It's supposed to be that they had no free will, but then he started to see the king as a father figure. I got it. That makes sense. And so functionally could not fulfill the duty of like a pure quote unquote vessel to contain. Thus he was not truly hollow. Whoa! Wait a minute! That's what this whole thing is about. All right, where am I going next? What are the other two charms? I need the charms. Oh, God, do I have to get that money? And then that became something for the Radiants to manipulate. Got it. Because he had daddy issues. And the Radiance was like, I see you. Got it. Makes sense. How's Silksong world building and lore wise? Are we into it? Does it have a bunch of little guys that are like fun? And are like cracking jokes and rolling around? Yeah? Did you ever play Ori 2? I know I'm going right back to where I just left. Can somebody in chat, because I can't really alt-tab out easily, can somebody in chat tell me where the two charms are? One of them, I went to like the Spider Town to try and find it. I couldn't find it there. The other one, I have no leads. I just can't. I would have to alt-tab out of the game to look it up, and it's just a whole thing. So many little guys. If anybody ever played Ori 2, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I think Ori 2 did an awesome job of taking that first game, which had a beautiful world, and then making it filled with little characters. Like you're building back this little village, and it's got like funny guys to care about, and just a whole bunch of like my friend Dawn wrote a review for Princess Mononoke a few years ago now, and she wrote Miyazaki's I'm paraphrasing. Miyazaki's hidden greatest strength is in his way to have a little guy. Because he's so good at the little guys. And really, like, Mononoke, Spirited Away, Totoro, everything is elevated by the fact that not only did I get Dream Shield, there are 2 in this expansion. There are 4 total. I got 2. I got Sprint Master and Grimm Child. So there are 2 I did not get that are part of Grimm Troupe. One of them I'm assuming is in the spidery zone. I've never heard of Dream Shield. Oh, do I not have the fucking... Oh my god. And Ori 2 did a great job with little guys. And if Silk Song is little guy forward, there is one in Spider Zone. That's what I thought. I mean, it's a spider on its face, so like it makes sense that it would be, but I couldn't find anything. Hollow Knight has great little guys. I'm not saying that like this one doesn't. I'm just excited for the prospect. I think Quirrell is awesome. I think Quirrell is one of my favorite characters. Not really quite a little guy, but the spirit of adventure sort of. So I went into the spider cocoon hut. Is that the right place to go? I would say it makes more of an effort to make the areas feel real and player agnostic. Love that. Love that. Love an area that's like you're passing through, but this town is this town, regardless of if you're a part of it or not. Really love that. The circumstances are different. True, of course, of course. Is it in this? Can I get a Y or an N? I jumped around here for like 20 minutes. The first thing I did in this stream was go in here and look for it. And I couldn't find it anywhere. It is in here. Damn, dude. I jumped all around this hellhole. Open the map? What map? Is it in the spider hut? I don't have the compass, which probably makes it very annoying. I am on the far left side, Stag Station, upper door. I'm inside the beast's whatchamacallit. It is not in here. Okay, I jumped around this place for 20 minutes at the top of the stream. No, you're good, you're good, you're good. Should I just look it up? Will make it easier. I'm gonna. List of charms. Weaver Song and Dream Shield. Weaver Song, found in the upper part of Weaver's Den. Okay, that is over. Hang on. Let me do this, actually. Move this over here. Weezer Song. Go over here. While I was on that canoe trip, I was like, if I was, I'm 30, right? I think it's time for my Blue Album era. I never had it when I was younger. I think now is like a good time for me to maybe spend the rest of the fall just getting really into the Blue Album. Do we think that's cool? Do we think that's a cool, novel, endearing character evolution just for a fall time? Yeah, sure. Okay. Because like 3 years ago, not totally seeing these adjectives, you don't think it's cool? You don't think it's like endearing? Go for it? Okay, okay, okay. Thank you for all the support, everybody. And thanks for nothing, KCG. I'm scared. I think if it happens, it'll be something you need, not something others could perceive. But I think a Green Album era is more realistic. I'm definitely too old for a Pinkerton era. We can all agree there, right? Oh yeah, this place. I've passed the potential for a Pinkerton era. You're having your brat fall? Dude, you should have a Pop 2 fall. All right, got that one. And thank goodness for that, exactly. Like, truly, yep, I completely agree. I can't do Pinkerton, and we're all better for it. Found in a room in the resting grounds. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go like this. No. See ya. No, it was Brat Summer last summer. Last summer was Brat Summer across the world. It's very specifically an album by Charlie XCX called Brat. And so it was the summer of Brat, the album. It wasn't that Behemoth is having a fall where they just act like a brat. It's like the summer of, or the fall rather, of listening to songs off of the album Brat by Charlie XCX. It could be. Yeah, you're right. It could be. It could be. Ooh, Broken Quest having a Brat fall. Now we're talking. No, it's absolutely not unreasonable. But I'm giving you the more than the benefit of the doubt here. It is a completely reasonable direction to assume. More than reasonable. Wednesday fall. Also reasonable. Hello, experts. How do you get that money? Literally. HoloNet experts, make some noise in chat right now. How do I get that money? I think somebody said that they like flubbed it. They put on like the mark of pride so that they had a really long nail. There's a hole in the ceiling of the hallway below it? Holy fuck! Whoa! Whoa! Hey, thanks everybody. Now we're gaming. Now another question. Another important question. How do I get a lot of money very fast so that I can get the unbreakable versions of these fragile charms? Since it's just a few bucks, it's kind of whatever. I have a good method. It's not like fast, but it works. All right. So what you're saying is, let's not do it today. Let's do it on a Saturday, and we just call it like the grinding for money stream. And maybe I make it a maybe I make it a whole donation thon. We're doing the grinding for money stream. I'm playing all of these games, and all I'm doing is grinding for money in them, while I also grind for money myself. My Ko-fi link is right here. Twitch bits accepted. It'll take 40 minutes. That's good. That'll be part of the 24-hour stream. We got to think about it. Some other games. Get like 10 setups going at once, and it's like I'm day trading, rubber banding controllers. I got a whole bunch of different screens, and I'm just grinding money like auto clickers. Ooh, relic selling. What are my relics looking like? Not great. Dima. That's a good 2,500. I don't think that's enough. Because that lady eats the thing and then shits it out, but it costs like 12,000 to shit it out. Oh, I'm at 106. I don't need it. I don't need it for completion percentage. Woohoo! We got there, everybody. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. It doesn't count for the completion percentage. We're already there. We're already there. 106, all of Grimm Troupe completed. What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing. All charms in the game unlocked so far. Nightmare King Grimm taken care of. The Path of Pain taken care of. All 4 charms. 151 out of 156 enemies encountered. I have no idea where the rest of the enemies are. I don't need to grind for money. What a beautiful thing. This is awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out tonight. Another expansion of Hollow Knight in the books. This time the Grimm Troupe. This was a fun one. It actually like gave you a reason to step out and explore the world again. You know, step back out and take this little Grimm child along for the ride. And look at them. Look at my squad. We started the stream with Bretta. Oh, that's another thing. Bretta left. It's a Grimm Troupe thing. She sticks around through all of Hidden Dreams. Right when we booted up Grimm Troupe, I noticed that she wasn't blushing. Oh, I can get more of a squad if I try on Weaver Song? Okay. Dude, look at the squad. Wake up. Wow. And they're all resting. Awesome.